Adrian, just before we look at the Perth game itself, your overall thoughts now you've had more time to digest that round one game against Sydney?
Yeah, obviously really pleasing result. Come up against the premiers from last year and keep a clean sheet, score a late winner. It always brings a lot of positivity into the next week. Probably didn't feel like we played to our best and to the level that we're capable of. But that's a good thing for us moving forward as well, because it means we've still got some room for improvement and some room for growth.
Is it obviously promising as well, the fact that we were able to stay so resilient, hold out with that clean sheet despite some Sydney pressure, and then have a late winner?
Yeah, absolutely. Tough conditions. It was quite windy. It was hard to see on the TV, but made defending in the second half really difficult and trying to get out of our half. And I thought our defensive actions all over the park, and our team defence in particular, was excellent.
What have you worked on this week in training? What have you taken from that game that you've been able to implement and, I guess, either tweak or improve upon ahead of this week's game?
Yeah, we've really worked a lot tactically this week and tried to freshen up the players as much as we can. We think that Perth brings some interesting challenges, and so we've worked on a few things with the ball and without the ball to try and give us some advantage in that game.
Looking at, I guess, the Happy Girls pulled up, you said freshen them up a little bit. It was, quite difficult conditions, like you said, but how have they pulled up in terms of fitness and injury and that kind of thing overall?
Yeah, no, they've pulled up fine. We're just sort of reaching that. We started pre-season a little bit late, so we're just sort of reaching that point where, a few weeks in, and it's good to deload a little bit and focus on gameplay. So that's all that is. The squad's, firing fit and going well, but there is some room for growth still.
Can we maybe expect a couple of returns to the squad without giving anything away ahead of tomorrow's game, of course, but can we expect a couple of returns? Obviously, Jenna McCormick, for example, missed last week's game.
Yeah, there's some headaches for me this week actually, because I think the 16 that played on the weekend did a really good job. Everyone contributed, even from the bench. And we've got some real quality starter material players who weren't in the squad as well. So training's been excellent this week. It's been really positive, and I've got to think long and hard about who I bring and who I play.
But of course, they're the headaches that you want to have. You want to be, I guess, mulling over different decisions, and as opposed to having a skeleton team because of injuries or something like that, where you're kind of piecing things together a bit more sparsely, I suppose.
Yeah. It's a much better headache to have than who am I going to play. But yeah, there's a number of girls. Our squad is quite deep this year, and there's a number of girls who could play and do a job for us, could start, could come off the bench, even play a number of different positions. I think when I talk about the depth of the squad this year, I think that's not just in the quality, but also in the versatility of the players, and that's great for me to have in my toolkit as a coach, to be able to utilise different players in different ways.
And looking at Perth themselves, how do you see them ahead of this game?
Yeah, I think they're a technical side. I think they're well coached. I think they like to play with the ball. I think they're a side that shows a bit of resilience as well. Down twice last week away from home, and we're able to get something out of that game. So yeah, I think they're going to present a really difficult game for us and a really interesting challenge, and they'll be up and about because they're playing at home for the first time in a really long time. So they'll be definitely up for the fight.
Adrian, all the best tomorrow.
Thank you.